Welcome to all. Today we are going to give you a demo on ethical hacking. See, let me introduce myself. I'm Vishwanath. I have 8 years of experience and I'm a senior trainer on Tech Marshals Academy on ethical hacking and cyber security. I'm a certified ethical hacker. I work for an IBM as a senior operational
Mhm.
practitioner. So this is my introduction, and I have a certifications on certified ethical hacking and OSCP and this Azure administration. So first, let me introduce what is hacking. See, most of the people know about hacking. So what do you think? Like hacking is nothing but a illegal crime, and most of the people are hacking email IDs and all those things, right? So first of all, we need to know what is hacking. So, if the standard definition is the process of attempting to gain unauthorized access to a computer resource or a network, okay, to secure themselves is called hacking. Okay, so what are the process you are attempting to gain successfully unauthorized access is called a hacking actually. Okay, in this we follow many protocols, many techniques to hack that particular resources. So when it comes to this, hacking is a technique in which anyone can access anyone's computer without his permission. So which I have written a line, that is the second line, which I have written that the meaning is anyone can access anyone's computer without his permission. So is that true or false? Most of the people will have this question. See whether if I have a only IP address or if I have a only email ID, can I hack that particular machine or can I hack that particular resources or not? Like these are the questions you keep on mind on that thing, right? So here there are two ways, like which have written the line, the technique which anyone can access anyone's computer without his permission. It has two conditions, that is one is true and one is false also. There are two conditions apply for this. So it's based on a situation it acts. See, for example, if you find any loophole in a particular computer, okay, or a system or a website, so then we can easily hack that particular website or a system. So anyone can access any computer or a website from anywhere if you find any loophole. For example, if there is no loophole and everything is secured and there is no possibility to enter into that particular network, then this comes under false. Okay. So it's based on a situation. When you find a loophole, then it comes true. And if you don't find any loophole and everything is secure, then it comes under false. So how to secure those things? We are going to tell you that before going into this ethical hacking, I'm going to show you what we are going to teach you and everything. Okay, so this is a basic definition, like unauthorized access to a computer resource to secure their network or a computer. This is called hacking. And when you go for who is an ethical hacker, what is his roles and responsibilities, like what he does. Like an ethical hacker is a computer or a network expert. Okay, so he attacks on behalf of owner. He attacks that particular system or a website on behalf of owner and finds a vulnerability where we can where a malicious hacker could exploit that particular website or a system. So he will write a report based on that vulnerabilities, based on the loopholes. He will write a report and he will report that vulnerabilities to a particular concerned department to patch that. That is a job of an ethical hacker, and we call it as a ethical hacker. We call them as a ethical hackers. So most of the people of ethical hackers, we call them as a penetration testers or intrusion detection testing analysts, red teaming, and all those things. And we call them as a white hat hacker also. So this is a actually who is the ethical hacker means he will find a vulnerabilities and he will report that vulnerables to a concerned department. Those people are called as a ethical hackers. So here I have a doubt. See, I will give you one example. See, if you learn any course which is related to a subject, like for example, if you learn a Java, so then you look for an designations for a jobs like Java developer. Or if you learn any C programming, you look for an C developer. If you learn any website designing, then you look for a website designer or a developer, right? So based on a course, you will find a designations on that particular companies. If you learn any cloud technology, okay, you look for a cloud engineer or some AWS engineer, like these type of administrators. But when you learn ethical hacking course, you won't find any designation with the name of ethical hacker or ethical hacking. Why? But apart from this ethical hacking, there are so many designations are available, like information security analyst, cyber security consultant, like intrusion penetration tester. All these are the designations they are giving, but they are not giving a designation as an ethical hacker. Why? Means the reason behind this is ethical hacker, a hacker or a hacking, a word is called an offensive word. So, as per rules, you should never use a offensive word in a designations. That is the main reason they are not giving the designations with the name of ethical hacking or a ethical hacker. So you need to keep in mind, because when you go for an interviews or when you go for any type of technical discussions, they are going to test your general knowledge. So in the same way, they are going to ask you the same questions. So that is as offensive word. You should never use that words in a designation. So, but the roles, whatever the job roles they are going to perform the same thing. They are going to perform on penetration tester, security analyst, consultant. All these are the same thing, but designations will change. That is the main thing. Okay. So when you go for differences between a hacker and ethical hacker, see, the name only tells whatever the course you are looking for, that is ethical hacking, right? So the name only tells what is the difference between hacker and an ethical hacker. A hacker is nothing but he access a computer or a network without authorization, and he breaks the law. Means he will exploit that, he will delete the data when he enters into a particular network or a website. When he hacks into that particular network, he will do some destroy things like malicious activity. So that is a normal hacker. We call it as a criminal activity. Okay. But ethical hacker, what is the job of ethical hacker is he performs the same activity but with owner's permission. Okay, with owner's permission, he will do the same activity, whatever the criminal hacker does, the same thing, but with owner's permission. And when he finds that loopholes, when he finds that any misconfigurations or is there any chance to enter into network, then he will write a report. He will report that information to the concerned department to patch that particular loophole. So by this way, companies will secure those particular networks. So employ these those hackers, ethical hackers are employed by companies to perform penetration testing. Whatever the testing we are doing on a websites or a systems or a mobile phones, whatever we do, that is called penetration testing. We call it as a penetration testing. Okay. And you know that most of the people know that about types of hackers, nothing but white hat, black hat, and gray hat, right? So white hat is nothing but the people who who do good for us, like positive people. We call it as a positive or a ethical hackers. Means they will find the loopholes. Their main aim is to look for an vulnerabilities and to fix that. Okay, to make them fixed. Okay, so this is a job of a white hat hacker. They don't use their skills for illegal things. They will use their skills for protecting systems, protecting our company websites or a network. So they will do a good part, like reporting part. So those are called white hat hackers, secure the systems. When you go for a black hat hacking, so most of the people, like see when you see in the news or newspapers and media that most of the Twitter accounts was hacked or a Facebook account was hacked or a credit card was hacked. All these malicious activity, like criminal activity, that is going to be done by a black hat hackers. Means they will use their skills for their personal beneficial things, financial things or beneficial things. So they will use their skills for illegal activities, that is called black hat hackers. Without permission, they will enter into a network and they will destroy or they will do malicious activity. Those are called black hat hackers. And when you go for a gray hat hackers, see, like it is a mixed of white and black. It is going to be mixed by a white and black. It's depending upon a situation, they are going to act. Sometimes they act as a good, sometimes they act as a bad, like based on a situation. So here, what happens here is you can't judge a person by seeing their skills and their roles and responsibilities or designations and like teaching skills. See, can you judge me whether I'm a white or a black? No, right? So how can you judge means there is no possibility to judge whether a person is a black or a white. You can't judge a person because see sometimes I can act as a see. I will give you a scenario. I work for an IBM, right? So my job role should be I have to test a particular website or a system network. Then at that time I will act as a white hat because professional. That is my job. So when I find any loopholes, I will report that to a particular concerned department, and they are going to fix that. At that time, with permission only, I'm testing. So at that time, white hat. When it comes to my personal life, if I want to hack my girlfriend's mail ID, shall I take a permission from them? No, right? We won't take any permission from them. So at that time, I behave like in a black hat, and because I need to hack that particular web email ID or any Facebook or anything, right? So at that time, I behave like in a black hat hacking. So in this way, so whatever you are learning here, white, black, and gray, these are the differences only for theoretical part, only for theoretical. When you go into a real time of cyber world, cyber security, there is no white, black, or gray. A hacker is a hacker. Just keep in mind that you are a hacker, that's a hacker. So this white, black, and gray is only for theoretical. And my motto is like you need to be like a white hat hacker only, because if you go for a black hat, then you need to face the consequences. Okay, so like think like in a black hat but behave like in a white hat. That is a motto. Okay, if you want to find any vulnerabilities, you should think like in a black hat only. And if you find a vulnerability, then you need to report that. At that time, you behave like in a white hat. So this is a motto of that particular ethical hacking. Okay, so this is a thing. And have you heard? These are the some famous hackers which I know. So when you take all these people's names, when you go and search in a Google, you will get all these famous hackers information and everything. Okay. So for example, if you take a person, Kevin Mitnick. Okay, he's a very famous hacker. Okay, at the starting days, he behaves like in a black hat only. Like example, I don't disclose the company name, but he hacked into one of the company which is called ABC. Example is ABC. Okay, and he publicly disclosed that particular information into a public. Okay, what are the username, passwords, IP addresses, and everything. Some confidential information was disclosed into a particular internet. So at that time, company is very angry because the reputation matters over there. Because clients will go back because there is no security for your company. What security they can give to their clients? So at that time, the contracts was cancelled and everything was cancelled, and the company goes into losses. So at that time, they filed a case on a Kevin. Okay, and again after some days after coming from a jail, then the same person Kevin is acting as a cyber security consultant for the same company. Why? Means at that time the company is very angry. Okay, this was done by Kevin, so we got a huge loss, and the clients goes back and everything was done. But after some time they realized that if Kevin has the information to hack into our networks, then other hackers are also is a possibility. There is a possibility to hack into those networks, right? So what happened is if we hire him as a consultant, he can secure our network, right? So he can be like in a white hat. He can act as in a white hat only, right? So in this way, many companies are recruiting a ethical hacker because nowadays technology is increasing. Technology increasing means even the attacks are also increasing. So to protect those type of attacks, we need an ethical hackers, we need a cyber security consultant. So you need to know about this ethical hacking, how hackers hack into a website or emails or a particular systems. You need to know about that. Then only you can secure yourself. So here in this course, we are going to teach you all those things and how to secure like a countermeasures also. We are going to teach you all those things. Okay. And why do people hack? Why do you want to learn hacking? Why do you want to hack? Means I have written some of my knowledge. Based on my knowledge, I have written some of them. It's their personal individual things, like why do people want to hack? Some will hack those own networks to make their security stronger, to find the loopholes. And some people will learn for just for fun or a show off, some other things. Like, so these are the things which I have written. But the last line which I have written destroys enemy's computer during a network war, right? So here why I have written this means like destroys enemy's computer network during a war. See, right now whatever this war we are seeing in our borders is a physical war with the machine guns and all equipment. Physical war that comes under physical war. But when you go for a cyber war, okay, like in future generations, everything will be, now biological war is going on, nothing but a COVID, we can call it as a COVID, right? So in the same way, in the already it was started, cyber war is already started. To protect your systems, you need to have an ethical hackers. Because for example, if I hack any particular company, sorry, not a military system, if I have any defense or a military system, I can get all the information about a particular country's defensive information, right? So all these things are going right now going on the world. So you need to be very careful. So you need to have a knowledge about ethical hacking also. Even government people also looking for an ethical hackers to secure their networks. Okay. And why do we need ethical hacking and ethical hackers? Means all these are the possible ways from outside to hack into a network. So from all these ways, okay, a hackers can hack into a particular network and they can access a restricted data, they can access a databases and all those things. So to protect these type of attacks, I have written some of them, but there are so many attacks are going on right now. So to protect these type of ethical hacking, this type of hackers, we need an ethical hacker, cyber security analyst. So that's why we need to learn ethical hacking. Whatever the technology you take, for every technology you need an security. See, if you learn cloud, there should be a Azure security, AWS security, right? Every Java, if you develop any application in a Java, you need to have a test for that particular security modules, right? Everything, for every course what you learn, there will be a security module will be available. Because right now what happens here is, like, see, at the olden days, olden days, if a client comes to a company and if they want a website, they will give you a website, like designing a part will be done and testing will be done, and normal testing, functional testing will be done, and it will be handed over to a client. That is in the olden days. But nowadays crime is increasing. So what they are going to do is, at the time of SOA, like agreement only, they are mentioning that what are the security measures you are taking to secure my application. So this is very important. For whatever the applications you develop, there should be a security testing should be done. Once the security testing is done only, then only they will hand over that particular project to a client. Okay, so that's why we need a security modules also for every company. And here we'll go with the life cycle of ethical hacking. Life cycle. See, there are 5 stages in ethical hacking. If you want to hack any particular website or a system or anything, you need to follow 5 stages. The first stage we call it as a reconnaissance, or we call it as a footprinting also. The short name, easiest name is footprinting. Footprinting is nothing but information gathering, scanning, gaining access, maintaining access, and covering the tracks. These are the 5 stages. So here what happens here is reconnaissance in that matter, footprinting, information gathering. You can't blindly go and hack that particular website. See, for example, if you got a task that you need to find the vulnerabilities on a particular website. So you can't blindly go on that particular website and you can't hack, right? So first you need to do what the information gathering about a particular website. See, what is the website name, what is the IP address, and what are the services they are giving, okay, what is the name servers, all these information which is technical information. You need to gather a technical information about a particular target. That is called the first stage, we call it as a reconnaissance, footprinting. And the second stage, we call it as a scanning. Scanning is nothing but once you done information gathering, once you gather information about a particular target, you are going to scan that particular target by using some tools to find vulnerabilities, to find some extra more information about the port numbers, what are the port numbers which are open, whether they have any find vulnerabilities or not. Okay, is there any loopholes are there or not? It is going to be done by a scanning module. Okay, by using some tools, we are going to scan that particular network and we are going to find a vulnerability. Then third stage is gaining access. Gaining access is nothing but once we find a particular uh, vulnerabilities, based on that particular vulnerabilities we are going to launch attacks. That is called enumeration mode. We call it as a gaining access or enumeration. Okay, there are two names. So based on the vulnerabilities only we are going to launch attack. Once the attack was launched and it was successful and we logged into a website, then what you are going to do, you need to maintain a access. You need to, whatever the task you are going to do, like modifications or whatever you want, you can do that. And once you're done with that, maintaining a access is very important. Why? Because See, for example, today I hacked some abcwebsite.com. Okay. And after again 6 months of time, after 6 months, again I want to hack the same website. So at that time, there may be a possibility to enter into a website or not, because the security may be stronger, or sometimes the firewall is very strong. They have done some changes. So there may be a possibility, yes or no, right? There is a possibility. So why what we are going to do is, before leaving a website, once you're done with your work, before leaving that particular website, a hacker is going to insert a malware or a virus in that particular website. Once it is done, then after 6 months also, if the virus is there in the same website, you can directly open that website without any username password also. So for that thing, maintaining access is very important. So then next is covering tracks. Covering tracks is nothing but, for example, before leaving a website, there will be every record will be recorded into a firewalls. What is IP address, where you have logged in, from where you have logged in, everything will be recorded, right? So those recordings should be, those log files should be deleted. That is called covering of a tracks. So this is the 5 stages. If you compare these phases with a general life, see, I will give you a simple example with a general life. If I assume that a website is a home, and a thief is not, a hacker is nothing but a thief. Okay, if a thief want to enter into home, if I want to enter into home, first what he will do, first he will do footprinting, means nothing but information gathering about a house, how many people will be there, when how many people will be there, where they are working. Okay, all these information, is there any nearby police station or there or not, or CCTV cameras are there or not, like this information they are going to gather. Once they done that, the scanning module, nothing but, when is the flexible time to enter into home, not when they're going for an vacation. Otherwise there is only children in a home, otherwise there are only there is no watchman at the gate. Then these are the flexible ways to enter into home, that comes under scanning module, right? Then third phase, gaining access, means launching of attacks, nothing but, if they want to enter into home, what they are going to do, they has to break the lock, or they has to use some other keys to enter in, to open the locks, all these things. Otherwise, if there is any watchman, nothing but a firewall, watchman is roaming around there, so he has to divert that watchman by doing some activity, right? That is comes under launching of attacks. Once he enter into home, and he will steal gold, money, and everything, right? Everything is going to be done by that particular person. And before leaving that particular home, what he is going to do, he will look for another ways, resources, whether for the future use, can I enter into from any another way? Is there any another way to enter into home? That comes under maintaining access. He looks for another way. And before leaving the particular home, what he's going to do, he will clear his footprint, fingerprint, like nothing but, he will delete all the clues, so to make that person's identity. So all these things are comes under phases of a ethical hacking. When you compare these with a general life, you can easily explain that concept. So this is the thing. In this course, what you are going to learn, I will show you that, and everything will be in a live practicals. Everything will be live practicals. You can expect less theory from me, and you can expect more practicals. Everything will be in a real time. Okay. Today I'm going to show you a real. I'm going to show you a website. How can you log in without username and password, and you can how you can bypass administrator account. Okay. I'm going to show you at the end of this demo. Based on that, everything will be in a live sessions. Everything will be in live sessions. See, and now what you will learn by using in this course. See here, ethical hacking course content. All these introduction of ethical hacking will start with the networking basics. The first 2 days will be like introduction of ethical hacking and computer networking basics, because networking basics should be very important. Like, we'll start with all the things. Then footprinting and reconnaissance, nothing but a footprinting, the first stage. Then scanning, enumeration, then vulnerability analysis, how you are going to all these things we are going to do. You can find these course content in our website also. When you go for a techmarshals.com, I'm going to show you tech marshals. There will be a separate section will be available, trainings. In that, ethical hacking module is there. You can go through that for a course module. By this, you can find all this information. So in this, you will get it. Most of them people will get a dot. So is there any programming knowledge is required for learning this ethical hacking? See, programming knowledge is not required for this course. Okay. If you have a programming knowledge, it's well and good. It's an extra add-on advantage. So in this, we are going to show you by using tools. Okay, we'll start with the basics. Everything will be starting with the basics, and we'll show you in Windows as well as a Linux also. We are going to use Kali Linux OS. Okay, in this Linux, we are going to show you some tools. So we are going to cover both the OSs. Then see, I'm going to explain you individual topics. Like first topic will be like an introduction of ethical hacking. Okay, what is a till now which I have explained. It is a basic thing, but we have so many topics are there. Introduction of ethical hacking. So this is the introduction of ethical hacking, and then we'll go with the computer networking basics, like what is IP address, what are the types of computers in a network, architecture, topologies. Everything will be covered in these topics modules. Okay, and once we're done with the computer networking basics and introduction of ethical hacking, then we'll start with the information gathering. How we can gather information through online resources. Everything is online. Even if you have a Google, then it's more than enough to gather information about a particular person or a particular website. I'm going to show you everything in live sessions. Okay, so this is a footprinting, so information gathering about a particular target. Then once you're done with this particular module, then we'll go with the scanning modules. Scanning modules, here we are going to use some tools to scan a particular network to find a target information like OS of a target, OS of a server, open ports, what are the services they are running, whether this application is vulnerable or not. Everything will be going to be done by a scanning module. Okay, then once you're done with this enumeration phase, nothing but a launching of attacks, nothing but like how to hack a Facebook, how to hack a systems, websites, everything I'm going to show you live. But after showing a live demo, then you need to will going to explain the countermeasure also. How can you protect those type of attacks? So I'm going to show you that one also. Okay, enumeration mode. Then vulnerability analysis. Once you find a vulnerability, then you need to examine that particular vulnerability, and you need to report. You need to write in a report. Okay, you need to write in a report, and what is the patch for that. Okay, how can you protect these type of analysis? All these things we are going to teach you on this vulnerability analysis module. Once you're done with this, sniffing or sniffers, we call it as a sniffer, means nothing but a man in middle attacks. Okay, we call it as a man in middle attacks. Like for example, if there is any network, a hacker was hacked by a Wi-Fi. Like I hacked a Wi-Fi, I entered into a particular network. Then I can use some tools to see what is going on a network. If there any person is logging into a particular website, I can see that username and passwords also. But the network administrators doesn't know that I hacked that Wi-Fi and I am into that particular network. So that can be done. Sniffing, we call it as a sniffing. I will give you a live example. A few days back, I went for a coffee shop, coffee day. Okay, and I have taken a coffee over there, and they are giving a free Wi-Fi. So I connected with my laptop. So what happened here, there are so many people are using the same Wi-Fi with a free Wi-Fi. Everything is a free, right? So what happened here is I used some tools, and I started sniffing on that particular network. I means I am starting scanning on that particular network. So what happened is I got all the details who are using that particular Wi-Fi, like what is the computer names, what is the IP address, what are the MAC address, and everything. And even I got their username and passwords which they logged into a particular website. That is also possible. Okay, there are so many tools are there to capture that particular data packets. We call it as a data packets. Based on the data packets, we can retrieve that username and passwords also. I'm going to show you that in live. That's not a problem. I'm going to show you that in a live sessions. Once you're done with the system hacking, means individual systems, like how to hack a Windows 7, how to hack that particular Windows 10. So I'm going to show you that everything on live by using some tools, and how to break a passwords of a system. If you get any physical access to your laptop, like if you have got any friend's laptop, you can easily break that particular password. Without knowing the password also, you can log in into a particular system. That is also possible. So there are so many ways are there. I'm going to show you that. Then malware threats, we regularly experience these type of malwares, right? Virus, trojans, and all those things. You scan your computer with a antiviruses, right? So malware test, we call it as a malware test. How to create a trojans like malwares, how to create a malwares, how to dump into particular system, and once you dump into that a particular system, you will get whole control of that particular victim system. You can control that particular system from here onwards. So that is also possible. We'll do offensive and we'll do defensive also, both the things, because if you want to learn security, first you need to know hacking, then only you can secure yourselves. That is the main motto. That's why we are going to show you all the live attacks, and then we'll go with the countermeasures. Okay, you can easily understand what is a countermeasure, because once you attack that particular machine, you can easily understand that okay, this should be blocked, this should be blocked, like this you can easily understand. So malware threats, and then social engineering and phishing attacks, nothing but a Facebook hacking, email hackings. All these things can be done by using these phishing attacks. I'm going to show you everything in live on a Facebook hacking, like Gmail hacking. How can you done with Gmail hacking? All these things I will show you in a real time. Okay, this is called phishing attacks. We call it as a, it looks like a genuine page, but it is a fake page. How to create a fake page and how to do attacks on that particular thing. So I'm going to show you that phishing attacks and DOS attacks. This is very, very important, and it's very dangerous attack. See, I think most of the people know about this attack, but they don't know it's an a DOS attack. See, I'll give you the example. At the time of results, what happens to the server? Like a JN2 server is there, and at the time of results, what happens to the server? Automatically, servers goes down. It will respond very slowly. Otherwise, if you go for Amazon or a Flipkart, many users are using the same services. At that time, service will be very slow, right? So that is nothing but a DOS attacks. But it is a genuine thing. But hackers will launch DOS attacks to make the server down by fake traffic, fake request. That comes under DOS attacks. Okay, I'm going to show you that. And session hijacking, it is very, very, very important. Actually, it is not a topic of a ethical hacking. The only theoretical part is there, but I'm going to show you a real-time demo also. Without username and password, by using cookies, we can log in into a Hotstar, some other websites. There is a possibility, right? So bluffing a server. By using bluffing a server, we can log in into, if a website has a loophole, if a server has a loophole, it is not secure, then we can directly log in into a particular website with another username and passwords. See, for example, Mathur is there. So okay, if I don't know the password of Mathur, but if I hack your cookies, nothing but a sessions. Okay, then I can, if I hack that sessions, I can log in with his account without any username and password. That is possible. I'm going to show you that also in live sessions. You can go with that. Okay, and then hacking web servers, web applications. We call it as a web applications. In general life, we call it as a websites. In our cybersecurity terminology, we call it as a web applications. Okay, so this can be done like bypass attacks. Now I'm going to show you one bypassing attack, how to bypass administrator account. Then Wi-Fi hacking. Most of the people look for this Wi-Fi hacking, right? So this Wi-Fi hacking can be done by using some tools from Kali Linux machine, not from a Windows machine. We can do Linux by using Linux machine. We're going to perform attacks on this wireless network. Okay. So once you find all these vulnerabilities, then you are going to by using Kali Linux, which I have told you. Once you're done with all these testings and everything is done, then you go for a firewalls. This is the main gateway for a firewall, right? Firewalls. What is the use of a firewall? Nothing but stop unauthorized access from a personal network. So blocking people, blocking IP addresses, some security criteria, and all these things. So here we are going to bluff a firewall also. I'm going to show you an attack that this is a theoretical part, but when you go for practical sessions in some website hacking and all those things, then you can I can explain you how we can bluff a firewall also. So all this comes under theoretical. This is a theoretical part, and this is the IoT hacking. It is also right now we are using IoT. Everything is a automation task, right? So this is also possible. IoT hacking is also possible, but as of now it is in a theory part. So I'm practicing on that. I'm doing some experiments on this IoT hacking. If it is successful, I'm going to show you a live attack also in IoT. Okay. Till now there is a only theoretical part. There is no practical session, but I can show you a web cameras hacking, because web camera is also IoT. So I can show you a web cameras hacking. How can you hack a web cameras which are in live, which are in public, which is not secure? I can show you that IoT hacking. And once you go for this cloud computing, most of the people learning IoT, Azure, AWS, cloud technology is increasing, right? So there is a possibility to hack clouds also, cloud technology, cloud storages also. So that is also possible. This is theoretical topic, but I will try to show you a demo also on a cloud computing. I will host a server in my own laptop, and I will show you that how can you hack that particular cloud computing. Okay, based on a web application, how can you go into a particular system also. So that is also there. I'm going to show you that in a cloud computing. Then cryptography. Cryptography is nothing but, till now everything is hacking, hacking, hacking. Then cryptography comes here. Cryptography is nothing but like hiding data, secure data. See, if you want to send any emails, or if you want to send any username and passwords to your friends, then you can't directly send email, right? There may be a possibility to hack that email. So if I hack a email, I can see what you are sending, right? That is a possibility is there. So what happens here is, in real time, if you want to send any confidential data, you have to convert that normal data into non-human readable data. Okay, that is called as a encrypted data. We call it as a encrypted data. By using some algorithms, we are going to convert that data. So that is also there. I'm going to show you that how can you hide your data. Okay, and how can you hide your data in images also. Even in images also you can hide your data. That is also possible. I'm going to show you that one also. Okay, cryptographers and stenographers. We call it as a stenographers. So the last thing, penetration testing. Till now everything is hacking is done. Then penetration testing comes here. Nothing but how to write a report, how to write a report, and how to perform all these vulnerability analysis, and how to write a report, and how to submit report to a particular concerned department. What are the flow? What is the flow chart for that? So I'm going to explain you that in penetration testing. And here I'm going to show you a commercial version tools. When you go for a real time of a MNCs, they are going to use the same tools. So I'm going to show you that tools also. Based on that tools only, you have to work out on companies. So I'm going to show you that on a vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. As I said that I'm going to show you a live demo on bypass authentication, like how can we log in into administrator panel without username and password, without knowing the username and password, right? So I'm going to show you that now. How can we log in into administrator panel without a username and a password? So for this thing, I'm going to open a website. Okay, it's in a demo website. So see, demo.testfire.net. This is a website which I'm going to use. Okay, it looks like a bank website. Okay, online banking website. When you go for this, there will be a login page over here, right? So for every website there will be a login page. So we need to find that login page, administrator login page. And here there is a login page, sign in page is available, right? So in this sign in page, we are going to use that username and password. So regular users use their username and passwords like Vishwa, my name is Vishwa, right? Vishwa, something 1bin123, like all these things. But if you don't know the username and password, so what you are going to do, like we are going to log for an general username and passwords, guessing username and passwords. For example, if you go with the admin, see, admin and admin, no, it is not working, right? So we'll go with some other things. Some other things. See, for example, test. We'll go with admin, and the password is admin at the rate 123, all these things, right? So nothing is working here because everything is secured, and everything is, it is whatever the username passwords we are giving, it is going to take that username and passwords and checking in a database. If it is matches, then it is going to open that login page. If it is not matching, it is going to give you this type of errors like login failed, we are sorry, something, username and password is wrong. But if I know the logic behind a database, I can easily log in, I can easily bypass that particular login. Okay, that is, there is a possibility for that. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to inject some SQL injection. We call it as SQL injections. I'm going to inject some uh, codes. If it is website is vulnerable, then we can directly log in into a particular administrator panel. See here. What I'm going to do is here I'm writing this particular injection. 1 or 1 is equals to 1. Okay. Copy this and paste it in the same thing. And if I click on login, see what happens. We directly log into administrator panel, admin user, and even I can see that information also, what it is savings and what it is withdrawals, deposits, and everything, right? So there is a possibility to log in into these things, and even you can edit users also. How many users are there? You can use all these users. You can edit those users and passwords also. Even you can confirm that particular password. You can change the password also of administrator panel. So this is in this way, you can easily bypass administrator panel if you find any loophole in a website. That is the main thing. There is a main thing. Okay. In this way, you can hack that particular websites. So this is a basic demo which I have given. We call it as a bypass authentication. And in the next in upcoming classes, I'm going to show you everything in a live sessions in the same way, so that you can easily understand and you can easily protect your websites or a network, all those things. So this is the thing, and so this is the topics we are going to cover. And when you go for a jobs, see, so what are the jobs available in a market when I learn this course? Means all these jobs are available. You can search with these uh, designations. You will find all these things like information security analyst, cyber security analyst, security engineer, penetration tester, all these things. Okay, you can search for these jobs when you're done with your course, when you're done with your certification. And one more thing here, you need to do certification also. You need to do certification because as a security analyst, if you apply for any job, if you want any job in cyber security, they look for any certifications. It's a very, very important thing. So once you're done with this course, we'll help you in that security, I mean, certifications also. That's not a problem. Okay. Once you learn this course, then we'll go with that. Okay. Then these are the job ethical hackers jobs. So you can reach us in this Tech Marshals Academy by these phone numbers and location. So we'll wrap up, and I'm going to if you want, I can send you that number. Otherwise, you can go for a techmarshals.com. You will find that number there. You can contact me for classes. If you want classes, you can go for that. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for everyone.